Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of A Little Bit of This. I'm Xavier.
And I'm Angel.
And I'm Isaiah.
And on tonight's episode, we have a very special topic dear to all of us, nostalgia.
A topic so genuinely beautiful that we had to dig deep into our graveyard of lost tapes and pull it back into existence.
That was a doozy, wasn't it?
It was a doozy. What you're seeing tonight is a dramatic recreation.
Spiritual sequel, if you will. Why do you do this to me?
That's true. Recreating the Lincoln assassination.
That's how this went down.
With a knife.
Yeah.
Shiv.
He snuck it out at his keister when he left Folsom.
Yeah, I would buy it. Put it in a history book.
If I make one kid fail his history test, it's all been worth it.
Someone's gonna seriously see this and write this down. He got shanked.
Credible
John
source.
Wilkes Booth has shank in his butt. He took shank out his butt and stabbed the beard guy.
The hat.
The beard guy with the hat.
With the hat.
So outside of like Slash,
Uh-huh.
can anybody else wear a top hat? It's like socially acceptable, quote unquote.
I think if you... I was gonna say a really odd answer. I was gonna
Please.
say if you're going to like in like an old money New York like debutante ball, and I think like the men like that's appropriate, like because you have like the coat tails and then you can put like the top hat on.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say. I should say.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think that's the only time it's ever appropriate. Unless you're cosplaying as Abraham Lincoln.
Or
Right?
Slash.
That it's
Or
just
Slash.
costume, really. Because even when you go to those balls, it's basically a costume.
Yeah, it's all pageants and all that such.
The pageantry.
The
Why can't you just
pageantry.
wear one because you like it? Where does that go?
That's what Slash did. See, he's rocking.
But he's like the only guy because, like,
I was like,
you
that's just
can't-
so bullies know who to bully at high school. That's why you wear a top hat.
the fedoras.
I think I've seen a kid or two in high school like try to wear a top hat.
I think I wanted one in high school, probably.
That was the guy that probably still got nudges. Hey, you're a rocker fool, huh? Like, please don't.
Like the emo goth kids probably could do top hats, like that ironic way that would just like work with them somehow,
Right.
and that's probably why I liked it.
Well, to tie that in with today's subject,
Mm-hmm.
are there any articles of clothing that you used to wear in your past that you look back on now and you're like, oh my fucking god?
Oh, for me, I don't think so. I don't think I ever wore anything like that, like outrageous or anything like that. I mean, maybe when I was like a little kid, cause like your parents dress you, like they buy your clothes until like. So I'm sure there were plenty of questionable things like I wore. I'm like, why would I wear this T-shirt with a monster truck on? I have no idea. Or or this random like baseball. I remember I wore like some like team's baseball shirt, and I went to go get a haircut, and the guy was like, "Are you a fan of this team?" I'm like, "Sir, I'm." In my head, I'm like, "I'm 5. I don't know what you're talking about."
I don't know who the dead Kennedys are either, bro. Like, look, in this shirt.
I put it on. I happen to be conscious. That's all I'm thinking about.
That's true.
I look back on clothes with like positive nostalgia. Like there's this jacket. There's this like hoodie that I had was yellow, and it's still in my closet. I don't know why, but it was just out. Like someone put it out, and I was like, oh, I hadn't looked at it in a while, and I always just really liked that one. I think the last time I wore it, I was like a sophomore or something. But I always liked that. Just because I got a lot of compliments on like people like, oh, I like that hoodie, it's nice, like, oh, that's cool. So like, oh, it's a positive one. Or I had this really nice blue one, like it was just like a light blue hoodie, really simple. I like that a lot. But my little brother, I think, took it to school one day and he lost it.
How do you lose it?
Lost the jacket.
You wear it.
You know, like you leave it like in the classroom, like the janitor takes the lost and found.
Okay.
And
There was probably a puddle and women couldn't walk around it. We had to throw the jacket over the puddle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not bringing that home after.
Yeah, let that nostalgia die. Don't bring that tradition back.
Or I had some Healies. Those are awesome.
Oh. I never trusted myself enough for Healies.
No?
Like, I'm probably just gonna fall.
They were kind of scary.
I've seen kids
Oh,
fall
that's what
acid.
they were.
Because you're just balancing everything on one little wheel that like pops in at the bottom.
You gotta do 2. Boom, boom,
Mhm.
bam.
There's
I don't
talk
know.
on this, talk on the street, the dirty underbellies of the world. That supposedly they come out croc Healies. I was like, yes,
It sounds.
the world apparently needed this.
You know,
Maybe they have croc boobs.
they do, huh? What I was gonna say is the funny thing about Healies is that they're like wearing a heel. When I put them, because you know, like your normal shoe, it's pretty leveled like the whole way, like it's like here's the sole of your shoe, it's this thick or something. When you have a Healy, like the Healy shoes, where it's like regular and then it like goes up because like it has to have the space to like. Yeah, that's what I didn't expect. So it was weird walking in them. Like what, like.
I feel like you defeat the purpose if you can't walk in shoes.
Yeah, so it was kind of weird. You get used to it, but those are fun. I had them in the 6th grade. It was a nice couple months before I grew out of them.
I remember we had a friend in 8th grade who would wear them in the gym, and so the gym teacher wasn't looking. He would just pop out of the Healies and like go around the track.
Doing the mile. And all that. It's pretty smart of them. Resourceful.
What about you, Angel? Is there like a piece of clothing like you look back and like, ugh? Or is there something like, no, that was a rad t-shirt I had?
Nah, bro, that was a banger.
I guess there's not too much that, if I actually look back on it, I guess it felt appropriate at the time.
Uh-huh.
I still have one shirt from God knows when. I want to say I was at least 11 or 12. It's all torn to shit now, though. I use it as like a paint rag. But,
was it the MC Chris one?
no, the really old CKY one from a show I never went to. But I think the one thing that I did that I probably would like
checking the balls.
Be like, don't do that. Would be I used to write all over my pants. And
really?
Yeah, like I don't know. It's just felt I would get bored and I'd do it. I'd write on my shoes. I'd write on my pants. I'm sure that didn't. My mom probably didn't like that. You know, she buys you pants and you write all over them. But
that's real.
It just felt right at the time. And now I don't want to do that. It's tough enough to keep a pair of pants like without getting tattered and torn so quick.
That's real. They don't make pants for real people anymore, you know, so you just feel so bad about yourself when you go shopping. I feel like that was us just though, because we were poor. We were like, how can I decorate stuff for free?
Well,
like,
yeah.
I already have a Sharpie.
All we did was draw on everything all the time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So why not your pants? Everything's a canvas if you want it to be.
Why not, I say?
You know, we're not the ones buying them, so we do not care at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think everything else. Okay, maybe the one thing that was actually the gauntlet.
I was gonna throw us both under the bus if you didn't bring that up.
What's that?
It was just one of those hot topic like sleeves that had the fucking
the trick
like,
chain on it.
Yeah, it had like the little, the rings, like the buckle looking things, fucking like buttons that don't do anything. They're just purely for like decoration.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they felt cool at the time when you were 14 or 15 and you were a rocker fool.
You were a rocker fool.
I thought those were like the coolest fucking things ever. That's my cringy thing looking back, like, oh god.
Yeah, I could imagine me now, and yeah, it probably looked pretty stupid, but again, at the time, it's on top of the world.
You were a rocker fool.
I used to freaking wear those, and then I had like the trick chain that went down to my knee, basically, for my wallet.
The wallet chains.
I remember getting a Bubba's car that got snagged on something and snapped. So it just like snapped in half. I was like, shit.
Now I gotta get a new chain.
It was
They're all cheap.
We're all cheap.
Was that really? Were wallet chains so bad though? They don't look terrible.
It's just so you don't get pickpocketed, right? Not the whole idea like no one can steal your wallet if it's attached to a chain.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like you're gonna notice that thing rattling, or it's like they're not gonna be able to grab it off. I remember in school, I don't know if it was the same thing they were that like odd about it, but they were very strict about like having those in school.
Yeah.
It's like you can't have those. Like I don't know what the reasoning was. It was like no.
Well, I think the two things were they didn't want someone to whip out their wallet and whip another kid with it.
Because it happens a lot, obviously.
Kids are resourceful, man.
Especially when they want to go body shots. Chain, why not? Bam.
Let's whip it out the last second.
you would win that fight probably. You whip a kid in the face with a chain.
That shit would hurt, man.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter what you did, you win, right?
I was like, I feel like it was a mix of that. Because you gotta remember, I think all schools are just very, very, very low security prisons. Like you just have a bunch of people stuffed in this area for a mandatory amount of time.
They're just trying to get through the day.
Dude, they're all raging hormones.
Right.
It's probably not the best place to be.
Either Stacy hates me, I just want to put my pee in everything.
It's odd time.
Mm-hmm.